Let's talk Cannonier versus Vettori. With Cannonier in this fight, I think his technical offensive and defensive approach is going to be important in this fight, but for my major key for him, it's going to be his output. Jared is a very powerful striker, and a great example of all it takes is one, but you've seen in the Strickland and the Izzy fight, rounds are kind of left up in the air or swung against him because of the lack of his output, and going up against a machine like Vettori, I think the updose and volume would be a nice touch to see. But while he's out of range, I believe being in and out of range while controlling the distance with his long jab and low kicks are going to be important for him in this fight, because that's where you see Marvin have his most trouble. And that leads me into my next point, and that's make Marvin come onto his range. Cannonier surely does his best work on the front wheel, but because Vettori is such a marauder and sometimes doesn't cover range the best, that can leave him open for a big counter from Cannonier. As I mentioned, the jab is going to be really important, but I believe the low kicks are going to be equally important due to Marvin being heavy on that lead leg, and he doesn't really check low kicks all that well. So that'll help put a damper in his forward pressure and power coming back towards him. And that brings me into my final point, and that's the open stance kicks. Jared is comfortable from either stance, but because Marvin is a strict southpaw, I like to see Jared spend more time in orthodox and blasting those heavy right kicks to the body and the head, especially when Marvin is on the back foot, where he can tend to get a bit lazy and keep his rear hand low. With Marvin Vettori, he's no stranger to a 5-round fight against high-level competition, so I think that alone gives him a sneaky advantage in this fight. In the fight, I expect to see Marvin on the front foot often, but early on, I'd like to see Marvin try to implement the wrestling and put Cannonier up against the cage and kind of wear on him there. Now, don't get it twisted. Cannonier definitely has strong takedown defense, especially at middleweight, but that's all a part of the plan to make Cannonier carry his weight and try to sap some of that energy out from him early. While it's on the feet, we know what we're getting when it comes to Marvin, right? A heavy forward pressure style, looking to gain foot position to land that left hand, and I don't see anything changing in this fight, but what I do see Marvin implementing more is his kicks. While Vettori's on the front foot, I see him try to press Cannonier back with the hands and finish the combination with the kicks as Jared is off balance, and I also see Marvin using his low kick to beat Cannonier's jab. Now, you guys mainly know how I make my picks, right? It's usually the guy's more ways of winning, and I do think that's Marvin. But I think Cannonier is going to be able to find those couple big shots each round to secure a decision victory. Let me know who you guys are taking in the comments below.